This is Microsoft PowerPoint 2016, Lesson 5, Modifying Table Layout. It's often necessary to modify the layout as you work with the table. For example, you may need to add or delete rows or columns, move data in the table, adjust column widths, or merge or split table cells. So let's look at how we can add a row or column in a table. So continue using the ATM's final presentation. We're going to go to slide 6. This is where we drew the table. Click at the end of the word Bailey in last cell and then press Tab. A new row automatically appears. In the new row, type Western in the first column, Greg in the next column, and Valentine in the third. Click in the cell containing Eastern on the Table Tools layout. Click Insert Above. So in my layout, we're going to go to Insert Above. That inserts a row above. Drag the lower border of the first row upward, decreasing the row's height. So I'm going to decrease this height. We're going to type Northern, Wesley, and Kirk. And looking at the picture, they even have this one even narrower, so I'm going to go ahead and slide it up even more. There we go. Click and drag across all the cells in the division column to select that column. So in the division column, I'm going to go ahead and select all of these items. You can also place the cursor above the column until it becomes an arrow to select the whole column. On the Table Tools Layout tab, click Insert Right. So Insert Right. Now it'll insert a new column in the middle. New blank column appears. In the new column, type the data shown in the figure 511. State. Michigan, Nebraska, North Dakota, and Wisconsin. I'm just hitting the down arrow to get to the next box below. Connecticut, Maine, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island, and Vermont. I'm going to go ahead and go up here and get my Arizona, California, and New Mexico. Okay. You can save the presentation. We can also delete rows and columns. So continuing with this presentation and on slide 6, click the upper left cell, the division. So I'm going to click there. On the Table Tools Layout tab, click the Delete button in the Rows and Columns group. So delete. And I'm going to click Delete Column. First column is deleted. Click the Undo button so that we can bring it back. Click in their lower left cell, White Western. On the Table Tools Layout tab, click the Delete button. And on the menu, click Delete Rows. So we can show how to delete a row. And then I'm going to hit an Undo button to bring that back. Moving rows and columns. Continuing with this same PowerPoint, we're going to go to slide 4. We're going to click in the second column and on the Tools Layout tab, click Insert Left. So I'm just clicked in monthly insert, and we're going to insert left. So we're going to insert a new column right here. Drag across all the cells in the rightmost column to select them. So I'm going to select all of this data here. Then I'm going to drag that selected column and drop it on top of the first cell in the blank column you just made. The data will be selected column is moved to the new column, and a blank column remains in the data. So no, that's not what I wanted. Okay, it's not moving for me, so there we go. I have to go over. All the data is there, and now that last one's empty. With the second column still selected, press Control X to cut that data to the clipboard. The column disappears entirely. When you use the Control X command to cut all the data from a column, a blank column is not left behind as with the drag and drop. Click in the first row of the empty column. So I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to hit Control V to paste it back into that column. Drag the table's frame to recenter it because it moved it around. So let me get my, there we go. Get the double arrow so we can recenter it onto the page. Resize and distribute rows and columns. Go to slide 6 again and double click the vertical border between the first and second columns. So I'm going to double click that, and automatically adjust the column so it's the width that is needed. Double clicking the column border, adjust column width to fit the column's widest entry. Drag the horizontal border between Claude Simpson and Mary Bailey lines in the table upward so that the Claude Simpson cells are as short as possible. So I'm going to take this line here. Slide it up. Click in the cell that contains the states. On the Table Tools Layout tab, the Table Size Group Width box, set the value to exactly 7 inches by clicking the increment arrows. So I'm just going to click in the state box, Layout, and the width I want exactly 7 inches. Okay. The cell size group width boxes set the value to exactly 3.1 by clicking up the up increment arrow. So we'll go to here, 3.1. Maybe we want it on the table. Let me go ahead and make that larger again. Go 3.1. So now my table is exactly 3.1 inches high. Drag the outer border of the table to the right as needed to recenter the table beneath the team leader's title. So I needed to have team leaders in this title box. And I'm going to take this, and I'm looking for my double arrow. Here it is. I can drag it over so it's exactly in the middle. Select the entire table by dragging across it. There we go. On the Table Tools Layout tab, click the Distribute Columns button. Let's see. Alignment. Distribute Columns button, each column becomes the same width. So let me go ahead and make this larger. So distribute rows, distribute columns. So now all my columns are equal width. Oops. Merging and splitting table cells. You can also merge and split the feature cells just like you could when you put a table into Word. So go to slide 6 and select the columns Wesley and Kirk. On the Table Tools Layout menu, go ahead and click Merge. Merge cells. The two cells now became one, and the text from both cells appears in the merged cell, separated by a paragraph break. Click at the beginning of the second name and click Backspace. So I'm going to get backspace here. So now they're side by side, so I'll need to put a space in between. Use this procedure again to go ahead and merge these next 3 cells together. So Claude Simpson, merge cells, and again, backspace, Mary Bailey, merge cells. And that's interesting. Why I got 2, I don't know. And Greg Valentine. Okay, and then it wants me to go ahead and merge these 2 cells. I'll do that and leave a space between, and I'm going to merge those 2 cells. There we go. So it should look like that when you're done. Select all 3 cells that contain state names, and on the Table Tools layout, click Split Cells. So that one, and then I'm going to go to Split Cells. In the number of columns text box, type 2 to set the number of columns to 2. The number of rows is 1, so I'm going to hit OK. And now it just made that each one into 2 columns. Select the entire table and then click the Distribute Columns button on the table to make all the tables equal width. Okay, so distribute column, I think is that one right there. There we go. You can move the text either by drag and drop or cut and paste so that we each is half and half. So I'm going to copy, use Control X and then Control V. Okay, and the top 3 here, and then 1 New Mexico. There we go. Go ahead and save it and close it. This is the end of this section.